What's going on, y'all? Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up. Make sure y'all get fresh right in here, bro. When y'all like the button, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Big shout outs to everybody in here early. Big shout outs to the chat, y'all. We got Anthony in the building.
What up?
Anthony in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
I'm Anthony. I'm brand new to YouTube. Just started doing this stuff like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and everybody's talking about the poetic justice theory. That's why we're here today, I guess.
Exactly, bro. So make sure y'all show love to Anthony, bro. He been going crazy lately. He been making noise, just like your
Trying to.
boy, bro. Hell
Just
yeah,
trying
hell
to.
yeah. Nah, dude, for sure you are, bro. Everybody's been talking about you. Everybody, I think I want to give a shout out to Hugo. Hugo, I'm not sure if you're in here, bro, but somebody kept telling me, bro, react to this guy, bro, react to this guy. And like I was like, hell yeah, bro. And then when I reacted to your video originally with Jalopy,
Mhm.
I remember it was like, oh, okay. I see why people kept wanting me to talk about it because you
Yeah.
kept thinking of something that people have talked about, which is ghostwriters, right?
Hmm.
But you were saying, what if this happened before everybody started thinking it really happened? That's kind of like the
Right.
premise of what everybody was saying, right? Originally, when they started talking about your theory, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it was. And the craziest thing is that we had made that original YouTube video like 4 or 5 years ago. So we made that video
Before the
and
beef.
before the beef, yeah, like
Okay.
2021, just in the kitchen. And we didn't expect anything to come of it. You know what I mean? Like we just put it out there like, "Hey, I'm seeing this way." Um I definitely like, I was looking at it through the lens of like, it's got to be a diss, it's got to be something, right? Like and nothing ever happened of it. Like nothing came of it. We just kind of left it up. And that for the longest time up until probably 3 or 4 weeks ago was my
Right.
only YouTube video. And
Mm.
then we were just like, well, we just want to take because like crazy stuff's happening on TikTok right now. So
Yeah.
and we've been
Yeah.
creating on that's where we originally like put everything up about poetic justice and around it. So we had put it up on TikTok and my fiance was like looking at everything and I'm looking at everything. I don't agree with where that platform's going at all. So we were just like, let's just try and move everything over to YouTube. And then boom, everything just kind of took off. And honestly, like it was just that, like we only had, I want to say it was like 300 to 400 subscribers like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it was those like OG ones that were in everybody's videos being like, hey, he's over here now, like react to his stuff. So without that like initial core, like telling people to like tap in with us and critique the work, like none of this would ever happen. So it's been really cool.
Nah, dude, for sure. Because I think what started getting my attention about because I remember reacting to it with Jalopy and Deciphered, right? We both
Mhm.
had got into his channel and we were watching it on live. It was real, and another thing too that I wanted to add, right? Because I had reacted to it on my channel by myself
Mhm.
because we were live for like 2 hours or 3 hours before we saw your video, bro. Like, so we did like a whole live stream, bro, for 5 hours and like 3 hours in, we started watching your video, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we did like a whole like watch together basically. And then I was like, man, I was kind of tired when I saw it. Like
Mhm.
originally, let me watch it by myself. And that's when I did the live by myself on my channel. And
Mhm.
that's when I was like, oh, okay. So I see what he's saying.
Mhm.
And I wanted to get you on here, bro, because I had a few questions. Like I was still like, okay, I'm gonna hear you out for
Right.
sure. And then I think what got my attention was when Chapo, which is another Drake ghostwriter, had
Mhm.
heard your theory too. I'm not sure if you saw his reaction
No,
also.
I this is news to me. What did he say?
And big shout outs to HBK, WHBK in the chat for the $5 donation. And big shout outs to Westside Nate for becoming a member. I appreciate it. No, he said thank you for both for the great content. No, for sure, bro.
Yeah, man.
W's in the chat.
Appreciate it. Yeah, for
Hell yeah.
sure. Anytime.
So Chapo, what he said originally in his reaction was, it's not far fetched to think that.
Right.
That's what he, as a Drake ghostwriter, him saying that, I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Like that. That's fun. That's funny, right? Like, so now you could just think, oh, is he hating?
Mhm.
Is he being biased because he used to write for Drake and don't rock with him anymore?
Right.
Or is he saying what
Just not
I've
far
went
fetched.
through? right, what I went through, it's not far-fetched to say that somebody else went through that before me. You know what I mean?
Right. And the interesting thing is that last week I saw that Uprocks in the bigger picture discussed the theory for about 15 minutes. And I did a reaction video to DJ Head trying to get a hold of Glasses Malone to get permission to tell a story about wanting Glasses to do a record with Drake and Glasses not wanting to do the record for certain reasons.
Right.
So I had made that video, and then Jeremy Heck, shout out to him, came into the comment section. He's like, you're going to want to tap in and see this brand new episode this week because we actually have Glasses Malone on the episode. And he basically kind of confirms that initial part of our timeline, because I put the timeline up in every video. But
right.
Glasses kind of confirms the timeline, which is, and he says, he's like, I don't mean to snitch, but like Kendrick was the one who told me about Drake having ghostwriters, and that was in 2011 and 2012. So if you look at it, on the timeline of everything like that, that aligns perfectly for, him doing Buried Alive on Drake's album and then going on the Club Paradise tour. So it's like, it's all kind of coming together and it's all just kind of connecting. You know what I mean? Like,
right. No, of course. Because I didn't expect Glasses to say that. I didn't even expect DJ Head to say that.
I know. Neither did I.
So let's take it back, right? So your theory comes out.
Yeah.
Everybody's reacting to it. It gets to DJ Head, which is an affiliate of Kendrick Lamar. He was at the Pop Out. He was a DJ for he was one of the openers for the Pop Out. Mm-hmm. He's been in the know per se, right? To just say the least, right? When he messaged Glasses to try to get confirmation, can I say the story? What made me feel like that had because at first I thought that DJ Head was not even going to entertain it.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that Jeremy broke it down was,
do
you think that he even had ghostwriters 2011? Because it's different from saying, is Kendrick his ghostwriter, right? Like, so if you say, is Kendrick his ghostwriter, that's more something, that's like a whole different question within itself.
Right.
From saying, did he have ghostwriters in 2010, 2011?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different.
Yeah, that's a whole different part of it. And I think where it's really telling in that first video where they're talking about the theory is when Head just goes, do you want me to indulge? Like, do you want me to and again,
entertain the idea? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me entertain. And it's, they're going to do their thing. Like Uprocks is they're a channel that gets invited to Red Carpet Grammy Awards, American Music Awards. Those are legitimate music journalists that work at Uprocks. You know, their whole job is to entertain both camps, right? Like they have to present the information down the middle. And what I respected about the way that they were moving in it was they didn't dismiss it right away because they could have. Head could have been like, I don't know why we're going to take 15 minutes to talk about this, Jeremy. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But what does he do? He gives you context clues, right? And I just put up a video today talking about it. And that's what he does. He gives you the context clues. He tells you about King Kunta. He's like, okay, what year did Kunta come out? Like what year did the Quentin Miller stuff come out? And then he talks about how, he Glasses Malone for whatever reason. And, we found out today what it was, but Glasses Malone didn't want to do hard records with Drake because he felt, weird about it. So it's all kind of coming together and it's all coming out right now, which I think is really, really dope and really cool.
So that's another thing too, right? So after they said, okay, so after DJ had called Glasses Malone, he told them that Kendrick is the one that snitched on him, that snitched on Drake, and said that he did have a ghostwriter. He implied it.
So on that first episode, it was Head just saying, like, I don't feel comfortable telling this story. Well, I'll get in touch with Glasses Malone. I'll have Glasses tell the story. Then Glasses came on today and was like, hey, I don't mean to snitch, but how I found out Drake had ghostwriters was through Kendrick. So, and he time-stamped and dated it, back in 2011, 2012. So to me, I look at the timeline of events and I look at everything kind of getting pieced together now, and everything is matching up with our original theory from 5 years ago.
Because at this point, Glasses made it aware to everybody now that Kendrick was the one to inform him about Drake's ghostwriting,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
But how did Kendrick know?
Exactly. How would he have known? And that's, it comes back to he had to have been an early ghostwriter. I would love to explore
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I would love to explore ideas. I know I have people telling me to look into, like, I'm on, like, those early hit records from Drake.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on one and stuff like that. I had somebody reach out today and was just like, hey, like, I would like to know your thoughts on it. And just that initial bar kind of makes me look sideways, right? Like, from I'm on one, he goes, all I care about is money and the city that I'm from. You know what I mean? Like, and again, at the time, we're like, I was younger. I felt that, like, yeah, like, this is okay, like, cool, good bars, but have those bars aged poorly now? Hindsight being 2020, you can make the argument.
So this is because I think Jeremy Heck asked for clarification. Was this around 2011?
Yes.
And Glasses Malone says yes. So break down this timeline that you created, right? You did this, this timeline about the Poetic Justice thing.
Mm-hmm.
You had also showed the a majority of this, and this is what I was trying to tell people. A majority of the timeline is from 2011 to 2013.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of like where everything starts boiling down, because I think Control started coming out around there. The BET Cypher came out like right after that.
Yeah, BET. So how it kind of goes is that Buried Alive Part 1 comes out in 2011 in November. That following February rolls around in 2012. They go on the Club Paradise tour together. They're on tour for about 4 or 5 months until June of 2012. October of 2012 is when Good Kid, Mad City drops. He drops The Heart Part 3 and then Good Kid, Mad City on the 22nd of 2012. I went back, and I don't know if you saw, like, a video from mine the other day, but I went back and I found a Complex article where Complex is literally breaking down not just the album, but they're asking, like, Mixed by Ali and Punch and Kendrick about each individual record. So there's quotes about every single record inside the album. And it was funny because I found the Poetic Justice one, and Punch is just saying, like, yeah, like, we sent it to him, and he sent it right back, like, no praising of his writing ability, nothing like that. But yeah, like, that whole chunk of time, you get Buried Alive, you get the Club Paradise tour, you get the Heart Part 3, you get Good Kid, Mad City, you get their collaboration on Fucking Problems, you get the 5 a.m. in Toronto from Drake, you get the Jodeci freestyle, then Control, then the BET Cypher. All of that happens within 10 months of each other. So
it's not even so you're saying, like, when all of these songs come out, it's not even a year from when it kicked off with Poetic Justice, Good Kid, Mad City.
Yes. So within like 11 months of each other, 12 months of each other. It's literally like, it's just one boom, 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 boom right after the other. So
okay.
And if you look at it through the lens of, okay, well, how can they go from how could they go from potentially being cool or, potentially being friends, like the media is painting it, to now they're hurling insults at each other less than, 11 months later. The only logical thing I can come up with is that Kendrick got Drake to do something that he probably didn't want to do.
And when was Drake's Club Paradise tour?
Drake's Club Paradise tour was February 14th of 2012 through 6/17 of 2012. I think Drake stayed on tour longer. I think that's just how long Kendrick was on the tour.
So it was from February 14th, 2012 to March 11th, 2012. That was when his Club Paradise tour kicked off?
Yes. So it kicked off in February. Kendrick was on tour from February until June of 2012.
And this is basically what you're saying, right? Essentially, like, he went on tour with Drake. He saw something he didn't like. Maybe he goes. You're claiming that he ghost written for him around this time, or like?
I would think, like, I can't prove anything, obviously. Like, I'm
Based on your
looking
theory, you
based
say,
on the theory, yes. This is when he finds out, okay, he's moving in a way that I don't agree with. Um, it goes against his view of what hip hop is, right? Like, it doesn't sit right with Kendrick. And I think Kendrick finds a way to pimp it to his benefit, right? Like, he gets up on it, and then they hatch this plan, right? And then it's all a TDE in the camp together, pulling this off on Drake.
because someone just said, gosh darn it, said Glasses corrected himself today. He said he heard about he said it was 2013, not 2011.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kendrick went on tour with him, that means they were still good at this time, right?
I think if Kendrick goes on tour with Drake, it's a means to an end. I think I trust Kendrick Lamar when Kendrick Lamar says, I walked him down the whole time. Have you ever walked your enemy down with a poker face? So I think Kendrick going on that tour is just good business.
Right, but was he still cool with Drake, or were like the ghostwriting allegations already like coming to light type shit?
I think, I don't think the ghostwriting allegations were coming to light, but I think Kendrick knew, right? Like, I think he obviously knew something was fishy. I think he knew something was going on. And, I think he found a way to work it to his benefit.
Because so let's just say this, right? Let's say that while he was on tour with Drake, he realized that, or damn, bro, because I don't know though, because at the same time, it's like if he knew that he was ghostwriting, and Glasses Malone is the one that is saying that Kendrick basically exposed Drake for ghostwriting to him, and people are saying that was at 2011, 2013. How did Kendrick know he was ghostwriting? I mean, and then it's funny, right? Because Glasses Malone, when he talks, he's like, "Oh, I had to have." No, let's pull up the clip though, because I want to see exactly what he said.
Yeah, pull it up.
Let me see, because
I think. And if he corrected himself after I made that video, I don't know, but
I gotta look for that too, bro, because I want to make sure like that that I'm getting it down, bro. But apparently, this is the thing. I'm gonna increase the speed type shit because I don't want this shit to be all. Let me see. All right. So he tells Glasses. Kendrick tells Glasses, yeah, he's right. Someone's writing his lyrics.
Yeah,
but he's not saying exactly when. So if it was 2011, if it was 2013, he had already knew that by 2012 when he was on tour with him.
Yes.
And by basically what you're saying is like I walked him down the whole time. I was aware of what he was doing. I was just still using him to the benefits of my career, essentially. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to remember, like, Kendrick is a conscious rapper, right? Like, the record industry, I don't want to get like too conspiratorial, but like the record industry doesn't necessarily like conscious rappers making their way into the mainstream, right? Like, they like to keep them separated and in their lanes. So for Kendrick to pull this off, and Good Kid, Mad City is, when it's dropped, is as critically acclaimed as it was a huge feather in his cap for him, because now everyone is anticipating that follow-up album. Everyone is going to be waiting for To Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes different for Kendrick.
Big shout out to Alex. Yeah, I see it, Alex. In the interview, he says 2011. Big shout out to Alex again for the $5 donation. W Alex in the chat, yo. So that's the argument, right? Like, we expected that to be a thing, right? Like, we expected people to write for him. It's kind of like what he's giving it off of. Like, he's a pop. When Glasses says pop, he's a pop artist, I feel like he's trying to say you already kind of expect people to work for him already.
Right. And it's, I think Glasses a little bit later in the clip goes, it's like finding out Madonna doesn't write her own stuff, or Michael Jackson didn't write his own stuff. You know what I mean?
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, why are we surprised about something like that? Because they're the face. It's like,
right. But they're taking this face. The industry is taking Drake's, thing and trying to merge it in a lane where he doesn't belong. Right.
But that's like, Glasses' take on it. That's not Kendrick's take on it, though. That's, I think, something too, because I feel like the way that Kendrick reacts to it versus how Glasses react to it are two different things. Especially when you're talking about being the best lyricist, being the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah.
when you're the best lyricist, or when you're trying to be the best rapper, you do have to write your own rhymes.
Right. And Kendrick speaks to that too. Hang on, let me pull this up because this is an article from spin.com written by
You can share it.
Brian.
You can share it, bro. Just hit the plus sign on the shit in the middle, and then put share screen, and then so I could
this is like the first time I've ever. Oh, this is dope. All right, hang on. Sorry, I'm new to all this too, so you're kind of gonna have to teach me.
You're good, bro. Don't even worry about it. Big shout outs to Alicia. W's Alicia for the $11 donation. W Alicia in the chat, y'all.
All right, slides and PDFs from the computer. Upload a file. Here we go. Okay, cool. Desktop.
W's. Yeah, so you're gonna hit that plus sign like that's in the computer screen, and then it's gonna tell you to share the Windows tab or whatever. And then once you share it, I could just pull it up right here.
Got it. Perfect. All right, there you go. All right, there it is. You see it?
Yeah, I got it as a stage.
So this is the article that I referenced in a couple of the last two videos that I dropped. This is from spin.com. And basically Kendrick talks about what you were just hitting on, right? Like he says, is it ever okay for a rapper to have the question goes, is it ever okay for a rapper to have a ghostwriter? You've obviously written verses for Dr. Dre yourself. And then Kendrick in his own words says, it depends on what arena you're putting yourself in. I called myself the best rapper. I cannot call myself the best rapper if I have a ghostwriter. If you're saying you're a different type of artist, and that you really don't care about the art form being the best rapper, then so be it. Make great music, but that title of being the best rapper won't be there.
So he's basically saying once you try to step in the arena, it's a whole different story.
It's a whole different story. You know, don't talk like you're the greatest if you have someone writing it for you, because that is not what this is.
So when Glasses is like, we expect that already, Kendrick is like, nah, but I don't like that. He's like, that shit's whack, bro, because I'm trying to get to the top, and you're at the top falsely.
Exactly.
This is stolen valor.
Exactly. It's artificial, right?
Stolen valor, y'all. Stolen valor, bro. You heard it here first. Nah, but the crazy part is, bro, is that that's a good argument, right? How could you be the best when you don't even write your own rhymes? That's always been the argument for ever.
And I think that's where Kendrick, you know, and Kendrick is one of those guys, like, he tells you exactly what he's thinking. Keep making me dance and wave my hand and it won't be no threat. He could have just stayed in that pop and R&B lane. And, you know, if he had just maybe owned up to someone writing his rhymes for him, then it would be fine, because then we know. But like, you're taking on this persona, like it's you doing the work and you are the greatest. And Kendrick's saying, absolutely not. No, you can't be the greatest if you're taking work from people.
You know, and I think that's when it all comes down to, right? Like, I think this is a good example of how Kendrick is interpreting ghostwriting. You know, it's not that he has a problem with ghostwriting. It's the fact that you're trying to claim that you're the best rapper alive, or being in the top 5, top 3, the big 3.
Yeah.
When you don't even write your own raps, that got to piss somebody off who has to sit there and work on the shit every day. And I think this is the thing too, right? When we talk about this theory, another thing that I wanted to add was, a lot of people forget that when Glasses breaks this down, Kendrick's the one telling him about the ghostwriting. So if Kendrick is the one telling him, how did Kendrick know?
Exactly.
How did he know? But now we got to figure out, was he the one writing for him, or was he aware of what he was doing behind the scenes? Like, was he seeing somebody give him a sheet of paper? Was he seeing somebody write the lyrics and then hand it to him? And then he starts rapping in the booth. Like, what exactly was taking place? Did Drake go up to him and tell him, hey, bro, can you write something for me? That's what it comes down to. So Glasses just confirmed that this had been happening early on, way before people started like, because this is like that's when Meek Mill comes into play. That's when he accused them of using Quentin Miller, and that doesn't happen until 2015, 2015, 2016, around that time. But if the accusations go far back, going as far as 2011, then that means Kendrick had either seen something or did something for Drake that
exactly
put him in a position where he was like, I can't fuck with this guy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely can't mess with this guy, because like I'm starting to feel like he don't think that writing lyrics is gonna matter to being at the I feel like, because at the same time everybody was talking shit here. Everybody was popping their shit. Drake was the biggest artist at this time. Kendrick and J. Cole were barely like trying to make their way. Drake was already established through Young Money with Lil Wayne, with Nicki Minaj. Like at this time, Young Money is a fucking tyrant, bro. Like,
dude, they had those three. They had Tyga, and then coming up behind them, they had Lil Chucky. They had an entire camp ready to go.
Yeah, like people forget it was Drake, fucking what's the other guy with the patch in his head?
Oh my god. Oh, I had his name.
Wiz Khalifa. It was Wiz Khalifa. It was Drake.
Wiz wasn't in their camp.
No, I'm saying like the biggest artist at the time.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, because people had those arguments like, are you Young Money? Are you like fucking Odd Future? Are you Golf Wang?
Yeah, okay, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
right. Like, and then it's like, oh no, I'm like, I'm with Wiz Khalifa. I forgot his shit was Taylor Gang.
Taylor Gang, yeah.
So Taylor, like everybody, like they were big, bro. Like, and they did have like a massive fan base at this time. And I know like what you're saying and why people say the same thing. Like, oh, Kendrick took the opportunity to go on stage with Drake, go on tour with Drake, so that way, it could benefit like the advancements that he could have in his career later on.
Right.
But it's like people always say, what do you see there? And what didn't sit right with you enough for you to say, nah, I can't do this?
Exactly.
But what song could he have wrote for Drake that could be his? I know you say Poetic Justice, but what song could he have wrote for him back in 2011 that should have been credited to?
There's people in my comment section telling me to just do like an entire deep dive on Take Care. They're saying that like it was Kendrick and The Weeknd that wrote, most of that album for Drake. I obviously can't confirm that. And honestly, like I got two jobs. Like I'm trying to juggle all of this stuff as we go. You know what I mean? And just kind of sit down and do a deep dive on a guy that I can't stand listening to. That would just be like nails on a chalkboard to me. But I do think, once the problem is, and the catch-22 with all of this is Pandora's box is already opened. So now everything's questionable, right? Like everything is open to inspection now. And that is what you're seeing, right? Everyone is kind of going, and it's not just me, like it's people who, subscribe to my stuff, love my content, and they're now picking up the work and doing it too. And they're like, hey, you got to look at this. Hey, you got to look at this. Like, all of this is under inspection now. And that's the can of worms that Drake opened, right? Like he should have just stayed in his lane. He should have just kept it pushing. Because I would personally never mess with a guy who calls himself the Elohim. I would not mess with that man. Like just that alone. The Elohim, the boogeyman, like he's not to be trifled with. Don't mess with him.
Because we know like Eazy-E had a ghostwriter, Dr. Dre had a ghostwriter,
right?
But they were never proclaiming to be like the best MC.
Exactly. Now, what would be an offense is if Ice Cube came out to have, having ghostwriters in his camp. You know what I mean? Like those guys who take the craft seriously. There's other ones that are there to just rap and live a lifestyle, and that's cool as long as you own it and you are being who you are. I don't think there's a problem with that, right? Like, but when you're taking from people and you are talking all of this tough talk and you are saying some very questionable things on record, people are going to look at you sideways now. It's just the way it works.
Yep. And I think that's a good point, right? That like when you step into the arena aspect is a good point to make, especially when you talk about stuff like this, right? Because where does this animosity come from, right? But I don't think it's more so. I don't think it's jealousy, but I think so. I think it's more of the competitive nature. It's like
Mhm.
if somebody were to be in sports and you know that they're using steroids or
Yeah.
like some type of drug enhancement to like win,
Yeah.
then you realize like, hey, bro, that's fucked up. Like
Right.
I'm over here busting ass, and you're over here getting help, like special
Yeah.
help. Like what the fuck? I'm going against
And
the machine at that point.
you're nailing it, dude. You're nailing it. And that is where, again, like hip hop is just naturally a competitive sport. It is different than country music and
Yeah.
pop
Oh yeah.
music.
Of course.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
these guys who devote their life to this thing, they really take the craft seriously. And when you poo poo it, you're watering, you're watering down the art form.
The
You're
art
not
form.
doing it. You're
Yeah.
not doing anybody favors by doing that.
Oh, dude, yeah, of course. And then like I want to see kind of what Glasses was saying, because I know he says more in this clip, doesn't he?
Yeah, you can get rid of this. Get rid of this thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on, real quick. Big shout out to Treble. Day one Treble in the chat for the 50 gifted, y'all. Big W's, W, Treble in the chat, y'all. If I had a horn, I would honk it, bro. Actually, hold on.
Yeah, I think I might have one.
I got my.
I got a typewriter sound effect.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
W's, bro. W. It's a keychain, by the way. Like, hold on. Keychain, by the way. All right, let me chill. W Treble, bro. Let me chill, bro. All right. Let me play this back. Because I know this clip isn't too long, but I just want to see what he says.
To Sarah Wong in the chat. Hi, Sarah.
Sarah Wong in the building.
Dude, she was one of those like original ones. Just constantly, like how I told you, like just constantly adding people like, hey, look at what he's saying. Sarah Wong was one of them. OG.
Shout out Sarah Wong, bro. W's.
And he executed and his plan worked.
But you knew that. Do you think Kendrick, when he said that to you, was he disappointed? Like, because basically, like, I've been studying this all. Like, was Kendrick disappointed?
Oh, hell yeah. I called the nigga a liar.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact.
I didn't quite understand what pop meant, like what pop was. Like now I'm like, God damn it, you know what I mean? It makes perfect sense. But when he first said that, I was like, hell no, man. I'm watching this dude do his thing. Like, at that time, I'm still just kind of looking at him like somebody else at the label. You know what I mean? Like, shit, Tiger writing his own shit.
I think that's the crazy thing about this, right? I think to go with what Glasses is saying, what if he was giving this impression that he was writing his own rhymes? Doesn't that make it look worse too?
It does. It absolutely does.
Like, what if, because he's saying, I never saw anything crazy. Like, but you didn't go on tour with him. You didn't see like the ins and outs.
Yeah.
So to say like, I didn't see anything crazy. From what I saw, it looked like he was doing his own thing. But it would look a lot worse if you were faking the funk in front of people and then behind the scenes scrambling to try to figure out what lyrics you could get from who.
Yeah. And that is, again, it just goes against the whole competitive nature of the art form, right?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. I agree. When it comes to the art form, yes. Big shout out to Ms. Mickey Jones. W Mickey Jones in the chat, y'all. W Treble in the chat in this bitch, bruh. Let's fucking go, y'all. Spam W. Shout out Fliction My Network. I see you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Tapped in. What you're saying, the pop argument, right? If you don't write your own shit, we're not supposed to be surprised. Right. But again, once you step into that arena, bro, and once you try to put on this persona like you're doing your own shit, and I can't rock with that, bro, because I'm out here busting ass. What the fuck am I supposed to say? Oh, you're like Madonna. Like, imagine, bro. Grown ass man, by the way. Like, fuck it. Oh, you're like Madonna, bro. You're like Madonna. It's cool. It's cool. Now, fuck that, bro. You're wearing fucking chinchilla coats, talking about starting from the bottom and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Starting from the bottom. He was on Degrassi.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Dog, I literally had someone come into my comment section today and they were like, you should look up Drake's NHL, like from the 1990s. Drake is in an NHL commercial. And I was like, this dude's a plant. Like, he's a great actor. Like, and I saw that, and I think that Pete Davidson hit the nail on the head. I was talking about this in another video. Pete Davidson hit the nail on the head. Pete Davidson was in I believe it was a radio interview.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson said, Drake is the best and greatest actor of all time because he is a Canadian playing the role of an American rapper, and it's a lifelong role, and he'll always eat from it. It's just what he does. But
yeah, it's like that movie See Before. I don't know if you ever seen See Before. It's like they're pretending to be like NWA. It's like a Chris Rock movie. It's a Chris Rock movie, bro. But they're basically like trying all these gimmicks, trying to like land on one that's gonna get them famous or something.
Right.
That's basically what it is. You should see it, bro. If you haven't seen it, it's an old movie. I see what he's saying. It's more marketable. It's more impressionable to other genres for them to make money off of.
Yeah.
So people don't really hold those type of what's it called, like those standards or those rules. They don't, the same rules don't apply to them. You know, they don't care if they got to write a country song and a rap type song together. Yeah. Like Old Town Road, I'm just using an example, right? But
go ahead.
Country and rap song. It don't have to be Old Town Road, right? But like a country and rap song, we need you to write a country rap verse for this song that we're working with. Nobody is questioning like the authenticity of the guy rapping the lyrics, and is he writing his own songs? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one cares because you already hear that shit and you're like, oh, this is some bullshit. This is someone said this is Target music. You know,
it is Target music.
Or like somebody said, like Mos Def was right. You know, when he was talking about Drake, like when he said, I think he's like shopping. Yeah, like I hear Drake when I go shopping, or like I hear Drake when I go to the mall, or like when I get something to eat. And it's funny because like, yeah, basically it's like just generic rap music that you hear on the radio, but that at the same time the integrity of rap gets reduced when that happens, especially when you hear it in other genres. But they don't give a fuck who's writing what, bruh. They don't give a shit.
No,
if somebody else came in and write. And what if Drake already thought that in 2011? And that's crazy, right? Going back as far as 2011. What if he was, because he came out like what, 2008?
Yeah, I want to say like, his first mixtape was 09. Hang on, don't quote me.
So like you got 8, 9, 10, and then 11, right? Where they're accusing him of ghostwriting. He already had like 4 or 3 years in the game. What if he was already using ghostwriters because he was already like,
so far. That's right. In. I remember I was in high school when this came out. So Far Gone came out in 2009. Room for Improvement was his first mixtape, and that was in 06.
Yeah. So think about it though. Like, so you have your mixtape in 06, your album comes out in 09, you're making hits with Young Money in 2010, going to 2011. At what point do you start asking for help, or how long have you been getting help?
Right. And here's the flip side to this, right? I talked about it on a video today. The record labels view these artists as investments, as commodities. So if Cash Money Records is into Drake deep, you know, in terms of investment, they're going to want to recoup that investment and make money off of it. So they're going to do everything in their power to make this guy a star, right? So it behooves them to protect, if that's what it takes to protect their investment, is a couple of ghostwriters to like, you know, make him, you know, into this lane where it's palatable for not just people who listen to pop music, but now we're getting people who listen to rap music and hip hop, you know, listening to Drake, right? Like that was probably the MO, right? Like we got to un-Nickelodeon this guy. We got to un-Degrassi, you know what I mean? So the way that they're going to do that, you know, these record labels, all they care about is making their money. So to them, to Birdman, shelling out, you know, 20 G's for a ghostwriter to make sure that the song is hot and the verse is lit. Yeah. Okay. Do it.
So have you heard about Kia Shine?
No. What's that?
He's an artist apparently that said that he had wrote Best I Ever Had.
Kia Shine.
Yeah. So Kia Shine, let me see, I can find this here. Let me see. I want to show this because this is probably around that time, no? This would be somebody else that was writing for him at that time. So it says here that Drake had responded to this guy. Drake denies using ghostwriters on Best I Ever Had. This was published in September 18, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Around the same, so like there's accusations of him ghostwriting as far back as 2009, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So since the beginning of his career,
Right,
he's been accused of using ghostwriters. So when you have this theory about Kendrick writing lyrics for Drake, I don't think it's far-fetched, only because he's been accused of using ghostwriters
for a long time. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me see. And I think there was this other report too, bro. Hold on, let me just put this back here. I think there was this other report where he talks about it. I don't want to get your thoughts on it, because how do you think he was, basically what I'm saying is, do you think that people were actually using or Drake was using lyrics from other people in 2009 or 2010? Do you think like he had been that was how he started? He never wrote his own rhymes?
That's a really good question. Can I prove it? No, but like I said earlier, when we were talking about it, all of this is under inspection now, right? Like you poked this bear, you wanted to go there. You know what I mean? Like, so the way I kind of look at it is if you took in 2015 and it's confirmed, and Kendrick is telling Glasses Malone 2011, 2012, 2013 that he was taking verses from people, yeah, it's a pattern of behavior, right? Mm-hmm. Drug addicts use because they're addicted.
But imagine getting allegations from 2009, bro, of ghostwriting.
I know.
Like, how many years have you been accused of because people didn't start confirming it until 2015 and 16, right, with Meek Mill. People were accusing you of it since 2009. This guy right here, this is a video I'm talking about. I got to find it real quick before I play.
That's what makes that I'm On One song. Like, I got people telling me to look at I'm On One, and I've been looking at it. That's what makes me think, like, when Drake says, hate the bullshit, hate the rumors, hate these fucking allegations, I'm just feeling like the throne is for the taking. Watch me take it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
over? Yeah.
Yeah. Or is that, I'm sorry. I again, my Drake listening phase was like 2010 to like 2012. And then I was out on dude. But when he says that, like, is that someone else speaking for him? You don't know.
And then this guy, like I said, Drake responded to this guy's allegations back in 2009 about Best I Ever Had. This guy had recently done an interview expanding on that. I just want to see what he says, just because I think it adds up to what that, like, because he's been facing these accusations. It's not just Kendrick saying to Glasses Malone, oh yeah, he's ghostwriting. It's like, no, everybody there's not just Kendrick has been saying he's ghostwriting or accused him of doing so, even this guy. So I'm gonna see what he says real quick. So he wrote a verse for Lil Wayne, which ended up being a verse for Drake, and that song ended up being Best I Ever Had. So this is what he's saying. And then an article back in 2009, Drake is saying that is false. Like, he is denying the rumor. Mm-hmm. But it's funny how this has always been a conversation about Drake using ghostwriters. And I think it adds more to not only what Glasses was saying when he was backing up the claims about Drake using ghostwriters way back when. I think this has always been the case. Mm-hmm. I think he's always used ghostwriters. I don't think that he actually, maybe in a blue moon, he probably does get down and write something on a piece of paper. Maybe on a blue moon, bruh. But because I have seen the video too, right?
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, but this is the difference between him and Kendrick. We've never questioned Kendrick's writing ability. We've never questioned A Pusha T's writing ability, Jay-Z's writing ability, Eminem's writing ability, 3K's writing ability. Like that, but you're claiming that you are in that camp with them. You can't claim that you're in the camp with them when you don't do the things that they do.
Nah, for real, bro. Hold on. W Tanya for the $20 donation. W Tanya in the chat, y'all. W's. Look, and what's crazy is that not only is Glasses saying, hey, man, this guy, there's already been rumors. Kendrick is the one telling me. Look, so let's just say this, right? and based off of your theory, if Kendrick did write for Drake, at what point does he realize I have to distance myself from him? At what point does that happen? Based on your theory, is it the Jodeci freestyle?
No, it is the day after Good Kid, Mad City is released.
So after Good Kid, Mad City comes out,
day after,
he based off the theory though, he stops messing with it. But we know for sure because then Control comes out and he starts calling people out. But this is friendly competition, right? This isn't something that where we look at it like, oh, they really hate each other. But now that hindsight, we see that they've always had some type of secret animosity towards each other.
Right. And what could that secret animosity be, right? Especially if Kendrick was Drake's ghostwriter. And, again, coming back to the timeline, right? Like, that's why I always tell people, just stick to the lyrics and stick to the timeline. Because the lyrics and the timeline are going to tell you the actual story. The story that you're not going to get from, XXL.com or your favorite podcast on hip hop and stuff like that. Like if you really stop and you really listen to the lyrics and you look at the timeline, dates and everything, you get a completely separate story because the media will tell you all of this is just two rappers trying to be the number one rapper. And all of this starts at Control. Well, the Jodeci freestyle comes out 2 months after or 3 months after Good Kid, Mad City. And Drake is very clearly taking shots at Kendrick Lamar.
And Good Kid, Mad City comes out after the tour, right?
And Good Kid, Mad City comes out after the tour. So,
so that's always been a strategic drop is what you're saying, right?
Yes. They walked him down the whole time. They made them feel like both camps were cool with each other. They made them feel like it, like I compared it the other day on a video to, you ever seen the movie Ocean's 11?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Don Cheadle's in it. It's an awesome movie. But they literally rob a casino for like $120 million. And they're it's 11 of them, chopping up all the money. And literally right after they hit the lick on the Bellagio hotel and casino, they're outside the Bellagio just kind of looking at the fountains like, oh my God, I can't believe we pulled this off.
Yeah.
That is when I read like the Complex article that I brought up a little bit earlier, I literally just look at a group of friends, a group of ride or die, dudes that really love each other, coming together to get their guy, like their dude Kendrick, to the next spot. And they pull off and pull off a heist on Drake and they hit a lick on the industry. That's what I look at. And that's what I see. The quotes are so damning from that article. It's ridiculous.
Do you have the picture of your timeline that you could pull up here?
Yeah, here we go. Hang on, let me drop this in for you.
Because I think the way that you did your layout was pretty interesting. I do have a question about the hard part 3, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll wait for you to pull up the thing. So because I kind of want you to break down because I think that's the important time, right? Oh shit, you got the whole thing, the whole shablop.
Yeah, there it is.
Let's go, man.
This is just running on Canva.
Hell yeah, bro. So take me through this, right? Buried Alive in part one was 2011.
Yep. On Drake's album Take Care, right?
And this is where you say that this is Kendrick plotting, right? He's like,
yes.
Right.
Like they know something's not up. Oh yes. Hey, shout out to Rich Spirit in the chat. It's not a casino, it's 3 casinos in one night. Yes. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but it is an awesome movie. But yes. So yeah, like he knows around Buried Alive, right? Because if you look at the lyrics on Buried Alive, the lyrics are so damning. I would never allow that on my album. I would be like, what is this dude talking about? Like, what do you mean? No, I'm not putting this on my album. So he knows something's up. A couple months later, 3 months later, 90 days later, they're on the Club Paradise tour. Kendrick leaves the Club Paradise tour, goes back home to start recording Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
October rolls around, the Heart Part 3, where he tells you, truthfully, I just started rapping to get away. I never thought your favorite rapper would want a verse.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you, bro.
Yes.
At the time when I heard that song, I was under the impression that he was talking about Dr. Dre because he wrote and helped with Detox.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that he was I thought it was in regards to Dre, your favorite rapper, West Coast.
No, I look at that, and Dr. Dre has been on record and saying this ever since The Chronic came out, when Snoop was writing that album for him, the DOC was writing that album for him. He is not a writer, and he is not a quote unquote rapper. He is a producer. Right. So if you are a rapper, writing a verse for Dr. Dre is like you've made it, right? Like it's different. So when I read that bar, when I read those lyrics like that, I don't think he's talking about Dr. Dre, because who considers Dr. Dre their favorite rapper? I would consider Dr. Dre one of my favorite producers.
Right, because at the time, well, before the theory, right, I was only under because he was working on Detox.
Right.
With Dre. Dre had pulled up on him, you know what I mean? Like, helped him with Aftermath and shit like that. So I was under the impression it was just Dre, you know what I mean, with Detox.
Yeah, but at that time, right, again, timeline and lyrics, at that time, this whole chunk of time right here, you're talking about 09, which is Best I Ever Had. You know what I mean? You got these huge records. Best I Ever Had, Houston, Vegas.
I think it's funny. It's like Dre was nobody's favorite rapper.
Yeah, right. And everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Crazy,
like, you know what I mean? Dre ain't gonna write nothing. He's an incredible producer. You work your ass off to get to be able to sit in the studio with him.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah, like, quick, you know what I mean?
He is not a rapper.
He's not.
I like that. Someone said that M also wrote for Dre, obviously, with the Watcher. Yeah.
The DOC has written for him. Like, Ice Cube has written for him. Snoop's written for him. Like, it's an honor to be able to write for Dr. Dre.
That's why I thought, like, I never thought that your favorite rapper won a verse, but now, okay, and then going off based of your theory too, right? From the lyrics, he says 25 times with a K. Can you expand on that?
So my interpretation of the lyrics, again, just reading, hang on, let me pull them up, because I got these right here. Hang on. Heart Part 3. Hang
on. They said Jay-Z wrote for Dre too. Holy shit.
Yes, Jay-Z did write for Dre. Damn it, I don't have them. Hang on, I gotta Google them. Hang on. Heart Part 3 lyrics.
They said whoever is on the song with Dre is who he sounds like.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Okay, so here's the. Hang on, my computer's slow right now. All right, so what was your question again? Go ahead. Just expand on that 25.
Yeah, I never thought that your favorite rapper would want a verse. What did he say? Something got hit 25 times with a K.
Yeah, I felt like I hit 25 times with a K. Yep. Make the decision, ride the beat or ride in a hearse. You know, again, I just read this section of it. Like, he's saying, truthfully, I just, like, it's different, right? Like, the reasons I'm rapping are different than the reasons.
But you said he got paid 25K, no?
I know I've seen that's your take on it, and it could be, right? Again, I
was asking. I'm not sure. I was just asking.
Yeah, no. I look at that and I read it like he's saying, truthfully, I just started rapping to get away. Like, my motives for rapping are different from the motives of your favorite rapper rapping, right? Like, what's motivating him is not motivating your favorite rapper.
So it says I got hit. Does he say I got hit? Hold on, let me see.
No, he said my fella got hit 25 times with a K.
That's what I was saying. He said somebody else got hit. And okay, so and I think what I really wanted to get at too was, like, I'm trying to take your fans now, because he's still rapping from that verse, and he says, I'm trying to find a way to take your fans now. And I was like, okay, so now when you put it in context, when he says he's talking about Drake, because a few bars down he starts talking about taking. I need a better way to stand. I need a better way to take. I need to separate myself to stand out. Oh, hang on. Let me start the bar real quick. Hang on. They brung each other down. I was planning out my achievements, huh? I need to separate myself to stand out, huh? I need a better way to take your fans now, huh? I need to kill you motherfuckers dead. 3 hollow tips aimed at your head. I'll be damned if the chopper jam now.
And again, coming back to the theory, I think of like a hollow tip bullet is something that expands on impact. That's why I don't think, I had someone say like, the 25 was how many verses he wrote for Drake. I think 25 is a bit large. I can see someone seeing it that way. I could also see, like people in the chat are saying like, it's 25K for the verse. I could see that. Sarah Wong saying 25 times with a K, a Kendrick Lamar. That is how I interpret it. I think he's saying, I hit this dude. I hit your favorite rapper 25 times out of my shit. You know what I mean? Like,
so when he says this guy got hit 25 times with a K, you're saying 25 grand by Kendrick Lamar.
It could have been 25 grand, but I interpret it as he got hit 25 times with a Kendrick Lamar. Like if he is the gun, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like he's hitting him with these bullets that are expanding on impact, right? Like he's hitting him with his work. You know what I mean?
But the lyric that always stood out to me was, "I need to find a way to take your fans now."
Right.
I need a better way to stand out. So when he says stuff like that, it makes me think, well, whose fans is he talking about?
Right. And who at that time would have been your favorite rapper?
It would, and I always thought that bar was for Drake. I thought the other bar might have not have been for him. The 25K is also kind of sketchy, but I always knew when he was like, "I'm trying to take your fans now," he was talking about the people that were at the top, which was like Drake, fucking Lil Wayne was already kind of making a decline, and Drake kind of took that. Another thing too is that Kendrick looked up to Wayne, and and Wayne is catering to Drake this whole time. I can't forget about when Lil Wayne signed J-Rock, and that shit didn't pan out the way that it was. But I remember when Kendrick I think it was in the Hard Part 6 or another song, he talked about how J-Rock got signed and it felt like he made it, so it felt like I made it.
Yeah.
But J-Rock got signed through Lil Wayne. He has a song with Lil Wayne in the beginning.
Yeah, and J-Rock's deal through Warner was shit. You know what I mean? But like, it still ended up working out for all of TDE. You know what I mean? And
yeah, of course.
But
that means that he was looking at this shit like closely, like looking at it through those optics. He was close to Wayne, not like close to him, but like they were in proximities. His dreams were in his proximities. J-Rock got signed first than he did. It's like he's seeing all this shit, like he's seeing like, damn, bro, Lil Wayne talking to my homeboy.
Right.
Well, who's Lil Wayne rocking with? All these guys are at the top. You rocking with Drake and shit, Young Money, fucking everybody, Nicki Minaj and all this shit.
Right.
He looking at it like, damn, bro. So of course, when he says, "I need to find a way to take your fans now," of course I'm talking about them. Of course I am. But the problem is too, right? is that I think it's what you're saying. Kendrick had to have been quiet about, like he had to play the role. He had to play his part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel
until he didn't have to anymore, which was releasing Good Kid, Mad City.
It's chess, not checkers, basically.
Exactly. And now I don't need you. And that's why you get the Jodeci freestyle where Drake is saying, like, I'm going to hang you from the ropes that I was trying to teach you with. Like, like you get these crazy ass bars about Kendrick.
What you're saying.
Less than, if you look at it, it's on the timeline.
And then someone had pointed out too in the chat, they were like, Aftermath gets the last laugh when he does his BET cipher. And that's again another like, because people were hearing these lyrics back then and they were saying, yeah, he's talking about Drake when he says another sensitive rapper tucked into his pajama clothes.
Yep.
That was
jokes on you. High five, Schoolboy Q. I'm bulletproof.
Yeah.
Yep.
That right there was another like indication that bar was towards Drake. Like that was that was obvious. Like everybody at the time thought that was a reference to Drake.
Right. And the bar that goes over everyone's head from the BET cipher, though, is I'm the master who masturbated on your favorite MC until the industry had wanted me assassinated.
So you have an interesting take on that one that I wanted to actually ask you, because you think the way you interpret that as him getting off on Drake, your favorite rapper.
Yes.
Like he got
until the industry had wanted him assassinated. You either corny or an opportunist. I let you eat. Now go back to stealing crackers from communion. You know what I mean? Like he's saying it. He just at that, and by that time, right? You know, if you're coming down to the BET Cypher, now you're almost a year removed from Good Kid, Mad City. You're a year removed from Poetic Justice happening, where all this shit pops off. And he can't openly talk about it anymore. So what does he got to do? He's got to do it in code. And that's him trying to breadcrumb you back to it. Like, and what would it mean for you to get one off on your favorite, you know, on your favorite MC? Not my favorite MC, yours. And who would that be? It would probably be Drake.
So big shout out to Leonardo Thomas for the $50 donation. W Leo in the chat, y'all. W Leo in the chat, y'all. W's, bro. Day one member, man. Day one member. Hold on. Let the gun. Let the
hit it. I gotta get me one of those.
W. It's a toy. It's a toy. W. I know. I just got it. So he said, "We all have." This is a quote from I think Kanye. He said, "We all have things in common, but not all our favorites. Think of Drake when he started out and him being a child star that had the meek ability to rap." And I think I don't know, especially around the times of rap in the early 2010s. It's kind of like what you said about the Pete Davidson thing, right? Like this is just him being able to adapt to the part, to play this role.
He's playing a role.
So, and this is Kanye in 2010. This is him saying, not everybody, like he said, we all have things in common, but not all our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, though. What don't they have in common? Because Kanye at this time was producing himself. He was writing himself. Well, especially like when you see the Ye documentary that came out on Netflix, it was showing that like he was the only one working on this shit while he was making beats for everybody else. He was making his shit on the side.
Right.
And it's like at a certain point, I think some people just don't respect the fact that like, bro, like you're not really doing it like we are doing it. Some of our favorite, we have things in common with other rappers, other people alike, but not all of your favorites have something in common with us.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kanye was saying shit like this in 2010, that means Kanye was knowing about shit like that. Damn, bro, like way, way early on.
I think it's one of those things that if you're around it and you're in the game, you know about it.
Everybody's saying it feels like this is like an open secret at this point.
Yeah. You just kind of go along with it though, right? Like you just keep doing like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, started from the bottom. Yeah, great record.
W Leo. Spam W's, bro. W Leo in the chat, y'all. W Andy Pandy Pie in the chat. Kendrick blatantly calls Drake a fake in the cypher. And that's another thing too, right? When we talk about the cypher, what exactly did you feel like? At what point in time did you feel like okay? Because when did that come out? When did the Aftermath cipher come out?
BET Cypher would have been October of 2013. So a year.
So then you go to Eminem Bad Guy. So break that down. What happened after BET Cypher? Because that's kind of where I've always kept it at. And then obviously Meek Mill and all that stuff. Where did Eminem Bad Guy come into?
So if you look at the Bad Guy lyrics, I interpret that whole first verse as like a coded message to Kendrick Lamar, telling him like, hey, the thing that you're about to go through really, really sucks. Like, because you pulled off Poetic Justice and it's incredible, but the industry got involved and fucked up your art. You know, they fucked it up. Eminem says on here, I'm going to drop this one in for you too. Hang on.
Okay. Do you have the lyrics for this one too, or what?
Yeah, not the whole verse. Just the part where the references are clear as day. But I encourage people to go back and look at the full verse, because when I read the verse, I see Eminem at his lyrical best coding a message to Kendrick Lamar. So there's that Eminem Bad Guy. I just put it up there.
Oh yeah, my bad.
So towards the end of that first verse, and mind you, like if you just go look at that whole first verse, he says like, can't think of a better way to define poetic justice. You know, he's telling him, hey, you know, he's tipping his cap to him. Hey, I can't think of a better way to define it. That's awesome. You hit a lick on the industry. You got their guy on wax saying some stupid ass shit.
Crazy
Like, that's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah.
Can I
Wait, hold on.
grudges?
What do you say? Can't think of a better way to define poetic justice. Can I hold grudges? Mind saying, let it go. Fuck this. Heart saying, I will once I bury this bitch alive, hide the shovel, and then drive off in the sunset. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So a reference to Poetic Justice,
And
a
Buried
reference to the
Alive.
Heart Part 3, where Kendrick says your favorite rapper wanted a verse. And then finally a reference to Buried Alive, right? Like he's subbing Kendrick, you know, like, and tipping his cap to him at the same time.
Aftermath gets the last laugh.
Yep. And then later on this album is the song Love Game. And it should be noted that while Eminem is recording this, he's in the studio with Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar has, like, you know, a couple of people in the studio with him, and Eminem kicks all of Kendrick's people out of the studio to see if he can actually write. And within like 45 minutes, he had his whole verse for Love Game.
You're right.
Or later on in the album. So
you're right. He did.
And
so this is where Kendrick comes out. This is the new Marshall Mathers. This is the Marshall Mathers LP2, right?
2, yes.
I had it, by the way. I bought this album because
it
had Kendrick on it, bro. I wasn't gonna buy no new age Eminem shit. No, stop. No Eminem slander. I always protect Eminem. I bought this album, but I knew there was a Eminem and Kendrick collaboration on this album. That's why I went out and got it. Remember, I went to Best Buy.
I went out and got this album because I had just known how hard that he worked on it. You know what I mean? I remember the interviews leading up to it where he's just like, I put so much effort into this, and if you don't get it, then fine, fuck you. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. I gotta go pick this up. And that album is incredible. Like Bad Guy.
Yeah, it's actually really good. Yeah,
it's very good. It's him at his lyrical, arguably his lyrical best. You know, and that's the album following Recovery. So like he got Recovery. Recovery was very well received.
Probably a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, what was it? Was it Relapse? I think it was Relapse.
It was Relapse into Recovery into Marshall Mathers LP2.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But yeah, like I encourage people to go back and look at the whole first verse because it is an entire, like, he's talking directly to Kendrick Lamar.
But hold on, y'all. Do y'all see exactly what he says? So you saying Eminem is in on it too?
Yeah. I'm saying it. The real ones know. It's just like the Pusha T.
Is that why Dr. Dre is high-fiving Lucien Grange at the Grammys, bruh? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this shit? Bro, how the hell? This is so specific.
I know.
These lyrics right here are very specific.
It's him tipping his cap.
You have Kendrick on the fucking album.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, it's just, it all comes back to poetic justice. Like I maybe I'm too close to it, and I will admit that. Maybe I am too close. But you know, I look at it and I think it all comes back to poetic justice. It does. And the real ones know. The real ones know. It's why M subs it. It's why Pusha T subs it. You know what I mean? Like it's a very niche inside joke.
You know, it's funny because he said Akira Toriyama, Stan Lee, and Pac got to be making us into a comic book because this stuff is wild. What's funny is that bro, this is straight out of a comic book. What is that? The Bruce Lee movie where he's like, damn, you look like you come straight out of a comic book. You know what I'm talking about? But anyways, bro, look, I've never caught this, and this is why I feel like what you're doing is like you're going into certain albums where, like, because you checked this out because Kendrick was featured on this album, right? I'm assuming.
No. So how I found this is what drove me nuts, right?
Right.
How I found this was I listened to this album religiously in college. Like, this was my album because he had this one, and then I think like a year or two later he put out the Shady XV album, which was also super dope because what came along with that was like all of these ciphers and stuff like that. Like he was doing stuff with Slaughterhouse. Like it was just really cool and really collaborative work.
Right. Yeah.
But this album in particular, I sat up one night, like, and this is a couple years removed from Poetic Justice. This is before the beef, right? Like just before the beef. And I had gone to the gym and I was listening to that album and I just go, holy shit, wait a minute, what? And I read it through the lens of, okay, if I'm Eminem, and ever since this, and this is the important part in all of this, the Kendrick and Eminem thing too, ever since this, Eminem has been steadfast saying Kendrick Lamar is the greatest lyricist of all time. Like, he has been on record saying that. Better than him, better than Jay. Like, he says, I would have to give it to Kendrick. And it's because of this.
But
this is the separator.
Because if anybody were to give you, like, you know, I get that Snoop Dogg gave Kendrick the crown, right?
Pass the torch to him. Yeah.
Because of being the next West Coast influence and shit. But who passes the lyrical torch? You know, and I think it's important when someone like Eminem is like, yeah, this guy is the next lyricist up, because Eminem, we know, writes his own shit.
Right.
So it takes one to know one type shit. You see what
exactly.
I'm saying?
And then I heard it. I was like, can't think of a better way to define poetic justice. And I was like, and then I read the whole first verse and I'm like, this is just, he did the same thing Kendrick did to Drake. It's a letter. It's like a coded letter. And that's where like all of this, once you start tugging on that string, like I said, when I was on with Crew the other day, once you start tugging at that string, you start finding some very interesting things, and everything points back to poetic justice. Everything does.
And okay, so when you found this, you were just listening to it. You're saying, right?
And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, holy shit. And then it all clicked into place, because like I had found the Pusha T reference. I'm like, okay, that tracks. And then I was just kind of like thinking to myself, like, okay, if Pusha T's referencing it, other rappers had to have like referenced it. But this is crazy because this is in 2013. This is directly after, like, again, coming back to the timeline of everything, it is right after the BET Cypher. It's right after, Good Kid, Mad City drops within that year. And if anyone would know, it would be Eminem, because they're all in the Dre camp. So that to me was really cool. That was like
why I'm saying, bro, lines. Like, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny, right? To think like, if this was just a fucking, because I know like Aftermath had to been like, oh yeah, dude, we fucking got him. We got him this time.
Got him.
We got him. That's funny. Then this is why I hate when people try to just diminish like the theory, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just a theory, bro. It doesn't hurt nobody.
No,
it doesn't hurt nobody. I know some people want to think that this is just like far-fetched or that it's too much, but like, this is the whole point of listening to lyrics in the first place, is to like try to decipher what exactly they're trying to tell us between the lines and shit, right? So this is something that I've always liked to listen to, because you always think like, what did they mean? And at the same time, they could be saying three things with one sentence.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of lyricism, it's like deciphering a message, a riddle. It's just, breaking it down with the clues or with the things that they said. So when you came out with these theories, I thought I respected it, because I was like, bro, that's literally what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to listen to the lyrics, and maybe you might not always have it down to the science. You might not always get everything right. But the whole point is that we're listening to the music. We're reading the lyrics. Like, I mean, it says a lot that you listen to this Eminem album and then thought of Kendrick Lamar. And then ironically, Kendrick Lamar is also on the album too.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good, because he says it right here. Poetic justice.
Can't think of a better way to define it. Tip of the cap.
And then says, I will once I bury this bitch alive. So take me through Buried Alive, because you say this is kind of like, because the way that I heard it was broken down was, he said that this was going to be like him selling his soul, essentially, buried alive.
Yeah, so Buried Alive, you know, when I pull up Buried Alive, hang on, let me look at it. You know, he starts off by saying, looking in the mirror, I'm embarrassed. You know, he's saying, like, I don't recognize myself. I'm feeling like a suicidal terrorist. I'm feeling like an extremist. React like an infant whenever you are mentioned. I cry when hip hop is mentioned. Mind over matter never worked for my nemesis. You know, the thoughts or things never worked for my enemy, you know, and that, you know, I kind of look at that as like a callback to Enemigo, which is on the Poetic Justice music video.
So after Bad Blood was the Heart Part 4.
Yeah.
What happened with the Heart Part 4?
You know, the Heart Part 4.
Don't tell no lie about me. I won't tell truth about you.
Yep.
Don't tell no lie on me.
And that's a callback to Euphoria. You know what I mean? Like, again, Kendrick is one of those guys that literally references himself so much. He's constantly referencing his own work. Don't tell a lie on me, and I won't tell truths about you.
Oh, and then he's like, I can't wait to sun your bitch ass. Or
crush your whole little shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So this is why so the Heart Part 4, and then after the beef, everybody was going back to the Heart Part 4 because of what he said.
Mm-hmm.
What's the spin article?
The spin article is the one that I just put up. This one right here, the one that we showed people earlier.
Oh, the one about the okay.
Yep.
About the ghostwriting and how it's an arena.
Yep.
Okay. Big shout out to Browser. Hood Politics was also in 2015, and he said the enemies done clicked up, and I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed them in by a landslide. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because 2015 is where the rumors started coming out, right? With Meek Mill and who clicked up?
These are questions that I would love to be able to ask.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I would just love to be able to get into a room. But again, you know, if you follow the theory, you know that there's probably an NDA out. You know, so they probably can't even say
Puto wanna squabble in my barrio. Yeah. That's funny, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he speaks Spanish, man. Kendrick speaks Spanish. I believe it.
Well,
bro.
it's LA. You know what I mean? Like, it's part of the culture there.
Not for real. Bro said it's filled with Mexican.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's LA.
You said it, bro. No, it's cool, bro. I'm Mexican too, but it's all good. Let me see. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, for sure. Appreciate it. W Leo in the chat, y'all. W Leo in the chat. What else we got here? The Heart Part 4 was Big Sean and the Drake diss. I heard that was towards Sean. Did you hear about that too?
I had heard that, yeah. And, you know, I think it's kind of funny. I think there's like a few instances where
they're saying about J. Cole too, because he apologized too. They're like, oh, sorry, K-Dot, I'm sorry. And then like, you know, shut the fuck up. You sound like the last person I know.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So what do you think about that? You think he was talking about them? Because this was before all that shit.
I think Kendrick Lamar doesn't want to leave any doubts in anyone's minds who listens to hip hop who the GOAT is. He's the greatest of all time, period. And it's and you know, like I was watching a live the other day between Torre Green and Curtis King, and they were all talking about like what what makes someone the GOAT and like what is the separator. To me, Kendrick is the GOAT because he got the industry darling, your favorite rapper, on a song where he's getting him to diss himself. That is insane.
And very hard to do.
What's up?
I would assume it's hard to do, no? Because
you got to think.
Because Drake's an actor, right? He reads scripts.
Right.
So like, don't you think he would have read it and been like, damn, bro, who the fuck?
Yeah, like I don't feel like saying that. Here, let me rewrite this. You know what I mean? But no.
Yeah, you know, but maybe he was just like, nope.
And if you go here, I'll drop one more article and then I gotta get going. I'll drop you one more article. This is, or actually, I'm gonna drop you two articles. I'm gonna drop you two. All right, hang on. Because this is what really like solidified it in my mind. This Complex article is insane. Because coming back to what I was saying earlier, it looks like a group of friends trolling someone in the media. It looks like they hit a lick and they're like pointing and laughing, like, ha ha, like we did it. Fuck you. So here, take these. Hang on, I'm gonna do one at a time. This is Kendrick in his own words about Poetic Justice. This one. That complex article right there. I'm gonna remove this one, and I'm gonna remove this one, and then I'm gonna give you this one as well. I'm gonna give you these two.
What does he say right here?
So this is from the complex article that comes out the day after Good Kid, Mad City. This is Kendrick Lamar in his own words about Poetic Justice. He says, me and Drake had been working for a while off the fact that I was on his tour and I was on Take Care. We were talking about what joints we wanted to do. When Scoop shot me the track, I immediately came up with the concept of doing that vibe. And the first person I had in mind was Drake. Drake killed it, and it came out crazy. I think it's going to sit for a while. Now, look at the Punch tweet, look at what Punch said about Poetic Justice. Punch says, it says right here, we're definitely not using Drake because he's Drake. The song sounds like Drake. It sounds like his lane. We're definitely not forcing him on it at all. That's how Kendrick works. If it fits the song, then it's whatever. But just because you're a superstar doesn't mean you're right for this record. So it was a conscious decision to get Drake for that song. And again, coming back to the album, who's the odd man out? He's got vocals from Anna Wise, vocals from Mary J. Blige. Dr. Dre is on the album. J-Rock's on the album. MC8.
And it's then all Drake.
Drake is the odd person out. Why?
And what did Kendrick say? He said it would sit for a while. What did he say?
I think it's going to sit for a while.
I think it's going to sit. Oh my God.
And so then this is Mixed by Ali about it. Look at what Mixed by Ali had to say. Hang on, I'll drop this in too. Hang on. This is what Ali had to say.
Because if your affiliate is saying like he's doing it because he wants to, it's not because we're leaning towards Drake. It's because like, what did he say again, bro? That sounds like it's kind of like we're doing it because it's an agreement. It's not what
it was a conscious choice. Like everything was intentional. We picked Drake for this because it is his lane. Stay in your lane. Keep making me dance and wave my hands, and it won't be no threat. Stay in that pop lane. Stay in your R&B lane. Don't come over here, otherwise I'm going to make an example out of you. And then this is what Ali says. Ali says, we were playing songs for Drake, and Kendrick just knew he wanted to get him on there. Drake and OVO and all them is like family. So as soon as they heard that, it was all love. As soon as we sent it to them, he sent it right back. Everything we are doing is organic, and we have to make it feel that way throughout the record. So if Drake is on there, it's because Kendrick felt his voice needed to be on there.
His voice, not his lyrics?
Exactly. They're trolling him. They're trolling this dude.
We needed to have his voice on there.
We needed his, and it's because Kendrick made that choice. First person I thought.
So they're using Drake.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm starting to see what you're trying to tell me.
They're hitting a lick.
It's not about having Drake on the song because he's popular. It's because we know exactly how to use him as an artist.
Exactly.
And I think it's funny because what he says it's not his lyrics, it's his voice that we want.
Yes.
Like he's just another contemporary to the scheme of things. But it's funny how you're saying too, right? When he made The Heart Part 3 before he made Good Kid, Mad City, I need some way to take your fans now. How else are they going to know what fans he's going to take unless he puts the person on the album?
You're nailing it, JV.
I'm just trying to go by what you're saying, though.
No, that's it. That's exactly it. And that is Good Kid, Mad City. He's showing you the difference between real and fake. Hit that house lick. Tell me as you with it. Like,
but you have to. You can get it. But you have to show them who the person talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
again,
then-
this all goes back to him having to know something and being quiet about it until it was the right time.
Have you ever walked your enemy down with a poker face? Hey, we're friends. We're really cool. We're really tight. No, we're not.
The way that and this is going off of the not based off the theory. This is just what I've been looking into because I break down 616 in LA. I go over like all the crazy like the theories, like about the Mark Hotel, the Meet-the-grams, the items on Meet-the-grams. Like I'm kind of just big covering all these diss tracks. And recently with 616 in LA, one thing that always stood out to me was the mole conversation. So just because he stopped rocking with Drake doesn't mean that he was putting people out there to keep tabs on him.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so what I'm saying essentially is, even though they were pointing and laughing at him and not like in a secret type of way, there was still some type of like surveillance that they were doing on Drake. Because remember, he said, "Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me?" Who was working with OVO? And then we hear Glasses Malone. I'm not saying Glasses Malone is the mole, but Glasses Malone was working with OVO. Was he? Was he signed to Young Money?
He was signed to Cash Money, yeah.
So there's always been people that he knew that knew Drake. He even worked with Boy Wonder back in the day also. So essentially what I'm saying is, what are the chances that he was just not only after stop fucking with him, but he was still keeping an eye on him? Like, let me keep an eye on my enemy. Because that's what I think goes back to the lyrics you're saying. Have you ever walked an enemy down with a poker face? You thought it was all good. You always thought it was good. It was never
thought
good.
It was love.
Yeah, and then you realize that, I just been watching you. I just been keeping tabs on you. Because then have you ever thought had OVO worked for me? It always goes back to that, bro. Even with this recent SZA interview, she's like, oh, yeah, I have nothing to do with this stuff. But it's like, but you knew Drake and Kendrick too. I'm not saying SZA's not the mole, y'all. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, isn't it funny that there's always somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows your enemy? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're always going to run into someone that knows somebody that doesn't like you.
Yeah.
And and the minute that they're with the other person, they're going to talk crazy about you. So I feel like there's a group of people that Kendrick knows that was probably still rocking with Drake at this time, that was probably telling him stuff that, they probably shouldn't have known. Kendrick probably shouldn't have been aware of, but because they don't like Drake, they're going to tell his enemies. Well, how do these people know their enemies? It feels like all like an open secret. It feels like everything's been an open secret. Like from Drake having ghostwriters, has always been accusations. From Kendrick and Drake beefing, but nobody really knowing. It's always just been, but then after this beef, it's like, oh, bro, this shit goes back. I'm like, damn, well, how come nobody said anything?
It's like a Cold War. You know what I mean? And again, that's why I always tell people just, hey, like stick to the lyrics and stick to the timeline, because you can get a lot of mixed information from XXL and The Source and stuff like that, because that's just the way the media landscape is designed. The media is there to parrot what the industry wants said about these artists, right? It's kind of like the NFL. You got 32 NFL teams, and each team has their own beat writer that's just going to turn out what the team tells them to say to the fans. That's all it is. It's the same thing with the industry, music industry.
Nah, for real. I appreciate you coming out here, bro. I'm gonna read these and then I know you gotta go. So it said, shout out to Brawls again. W Brawls in the chat, y'all. He said Drake and Cole clicked up on Jodeci, confirming the beef started before Control. That's another conversation. That's a whole other thing that we.
That's a whole other conversation to have
that we haven't even talked about yet. And that's another thing too. This started, and I think as the years went on, there had been some time. Oh, that's another thing I was gonna tell you, bro. Do you think that Drake caught wind of that, of him dissing himself eventually, or no?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It was right after. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. It was right after. And I bet you him and his camp went, what? Wait, what did I say? Okay, we're going to need to call a meeting. And then it comes back to the BET cipher, right? Of The industry had wanted me assassinated.
Oh, okay.
You know, so like, and then going back to the King Kunta line, you know, this King Kunta song where he says, I swore I wouldn't tell. I wasn't going to say, I swore I wouldn't tell anybody. But most of y'all share bars like you got the bottom bunk in a 2-man cell. He talks about what happened to him. He just has to do it in a way that he can skirt the NDA. But yeah, I bet you as soon as Good Kid, Mad City dropped, within a week, he knew exactly what happened. Within a week.
Says some OVO people try to keep you away from channels that don't point Drake in the best light. The other guys trying to do it. W Andy Pandy. No, don't worry about it. We're always just going to try to keep it fair. You know, fair game is really kind of how we go about it. W Andy Pandy. Brawls also said Drake and Cole clicked though. Justce Kendrick said, I make the call and get the coast involved. Then history repeats on Hood Politics. And then history repeated 8 years later on First Person Shooter. That is a good take, bro. So he's saying 8 years after Justce Freestyle had dropped, we got First Person Shooter again, and history repeated itself by them doing the same thing that triggered Kendrick Lamar to create. It was First Person Shooter, then it was like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was like that, and then that's when everything started kicking
First
off.
Person Shooter, you know, they tried to get Kendrick on that record, and, you know, he says,
he didn't want to do it, yeah.
Yeah, no. You know, we got some shit to address.
You know, we got some shit to address. Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know.
Nah, for real, because they did, bro. Like, hey, bro, we have unfinished business, and you're using J. Cole to piece it up.
And I don't do that. So, no.
The motherfuckers want to be friends and shit.
And that's why I really respected what Head said 2 weeks ago on The Bigger Picture. He says, yeah, there's a pathway to not necessarily a kumbaya moment, but like, you know, Kendrick letting his foot off the gas, but it starts with accountability. But one side likes to do dumb shit.
Oh, they like to sue.
They like to do dumb shit, and people don't like being held accountable. So it is what it is. But hey, I really did appreciate the time. This was really dope. I do have to get to bed. I do got work in the morning.
No, for sure, bro. No, don't worry about it, bro. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Thanks for
anytime.
Real late, bro.
Literally anytime. I appreciate you.
And no, hey, bro, we gotta do another one, bro. Let me know when you're free, bro. I could go
down.
on yours. You could go on mine. Just let me know.
I saw
bro.
People want me to link with Jalopy. If you know him personally like that, I'm down to just kind of talk all of it and flex your mind. Hey, real quick though, everybody go tap in with Flex Your Mind Network. Please go sub that dude. Like, go subscribe, go like, and everything like that. He's really cool. Literally, like, really cool. And his content is A1,
bro. Yeah, no, for sure. Flex Your Mind, bro. That's the homie, bro. I got him on here too.
But yeah, I'm down to just kind of chop it up and do this again. This was fun.
Yeah, I'll call. He was supposed to be on here this time, bro. I'll call him tomorrow, and we'll try to see. I'm gonna do something with him tomorrow, and then after that, we'll try to do something later.
Yeah, for sure. Later.
I appreciate it, bro.